Students at Northview Middle School in Brooklyn Park got an unexpected day off from school. Over the weekend, a line from a water softener broke and started filling the boiler room with water.
And when our staff got in there to see, there was 3 feet of water in the boiler room.
This is video we shot last summer when Northview workers were updating the boiler room. It may take a while to figure out what caused the water softener to break. The district canceled classes for safety reasons, but teachers still had to report to school for a planning day, and they spent Monday working at a different location. No word yet on how much the damage is going to cost, but systems are already back up and running.
At this time, we believe it impacted the electricity and the heating. As of now, the electricity is back up and the heating is not so much an issue because of the time of year, but we understand the heating is up as well.
And that means school is back on for Tuesday. District officials say students already missed 7 days this year due to weather-related cancellations. It's not yet certain how the district will handle another day of missed classes. Authorities identified the pedestrian killed Friday on Highway 55 in Plymouth. The Minnesota State Patrol says 37-year-old Benjamin Summerfield of Minneapolis was struck while crossing 55 near County Road 6. The incident happened shortly before 4:30 in the morning. The incident shut down the highway for several hours. The State Patrol says Summerfield was not in a crosswalk when he was hit. Students at Wayzata High School have something to brag about. They are now National Science Bowl champions. Here's a look at the final match held Monday morning in Washington, D.C.
Short answer. Let A be one of the vertices of a convex polygon with 15 sides. How many diagonals of the polygon do not have A as an endpoint?
A, Captain.
78.
That is correct.
The questions were complex, and students on Wayzata's team made it look easy. They won first place in the Department of Energy National Science Bowl. They beat Dulles High School out of Texas in the final match. And what did they get besides a trophy, medals, and bragging rights? Students won an all-expenses-paid science trip this summer to Alaska, where they will study everything from glaciers to wildlife to plate tectonics. Congratulations, guys. It's the reason many people live in Minnesota, the opportunity to take advantage of the state's more than 10,000 lakes. As Corey Bork reports in this week's Business Matters, that love of the water is also why some workers in Plymouth are extremely busy this time of year.
As the sun glistens off Medicine Lake, boaters become anxious with anticipation.
Just wanted to get the boats out today and making sure that everything was running smoothly.
Vaughn Blackburn is getting ready for a big fishing tournament on Lake Minnetonka. First, he has to make sure his boat is in working order.
I've hit a few rocks.
Something he doesn't want to have happen this year.
When we fish in the shallows, the sand isn't the best thing for the prop, so it gets stuck and then we have to try to get out.
A potential problem that often leads here.
So this would be an example of a typical repair that we do.
At Prop MD in Plymouth, it's go time.
This is probably one of our busiest times of year.
Fixing propellers.
We can fix pretty much anything up to 1/3 of a missing blade on aluminum props.
Is a brunt of their business.
Everything from your 9.9 horsepower outboard all the way to those big dinner cruises that you see out on the lakes.
Prop MD has grown rapidly. The company started about 12 years ago in a Minnetonka garage, before eventually moving from Eden Prairie to this Plymouth location.
Our customer base has exploded since being up here.
And word has quickly spread, with repairs coming in from across the country.
We're probably getting somewhere between 20 and 30 props in a day locally, plus another 10 to 20 shipped in every single day.
Brenton says repairing a propeller is kind of like fixing a tire.
You can make it look great, but if you don't balance it at the end, it's still going to shake and do damage to your motor.
They even have special MRI machines to diagnose trouble spots.
This is a small version of the Hale MRI. We have a larger one in the back as well. Typically, a repair is half the cost of a new prop or less.
Well, we're pleased with that.
It all helps boaters get back out on the water. And what better way to enjoy Minnesota than that?
For water sports and for just being on the water, that's where we live here in Minnesota, is on the water.
For Business Matters, Corey Bork, CCX News.
Experts at Prop MD say a boat propeller can be repaired several times before it gets to the point of having to replace it. Repairs usually take 3 to 5 days, depending on the damage. And we have more information on our website, ccxmedia.org.
You push the button and turn it on, and then you just put your fingernail in there and turn it however you want.
Some exciting news for a company previously featured on Business Matters. The family behind an electronic nail clipper called ClipDifferent recently won gold at the Edison Best New Product Awards in New York City. The product is manufactured in Maple Grove, so congratulations go out to the McMullen family. We might be months away from the Minnesota State Fair, but a group of 4-H'ers are already working toward earning a spot on that stage. This weekend, Hennepin County 4-H'ers got help from a group of seniors in Crystal.
4-H is a lovely organization that helps youth learn outside of the classroom by learning these transferable skills that you can take anywhere, such as public speaking, communication, teamwork, and problem solving. But by doing that in a project that they love.
4-H is about more than just agriculture. A group of students pursuing performing arts got to practice their skill in front of a group of seniors at Heather's Manor in Crystal. Events like these bring together students and seniors in ways that are beneficial for both groups.
It's important for them to understand that growing old isn't scary, and that just because they're in a wheelchair, they can talk, they can think, and it opens up that not to be scared when they are with older people.
Stacy also says this helps connect seniors to the community. As we go to break, we will leave you with a few sounds from Saturday's performances at Heather's Manor.
It was a gathering of many of the state's premier track and field athletes. The Hamline Elite Meet is an invite-only competition for those with the best times, distances, and heights, regardless of what class their team competes in. A beautiful night for running in St. Paul. In the boys 110 hurdles, Hopkins sophomore George Jackson pulls away and wins in a time of 14.76 seconds. Girls 4x200 relay. Prior Lake wins with Mara Gillum in gold, anchoring Wayzata to a second-place finish. Boys 4x100 relay, the Hopkins team of Ty Bennett, Jalen Champion, George Jackson, and anchor Joe Fonbala set a new state record with a time of 41.35 seconds. Boys 800-meter run, and Wayzata's Patrick Leonard with a great kick at the end, but he can't quite catch Chaska's John Starkey. Leonard finishes second. Girls 800, Totino Grace's Emily Meyer battles to the end, and she takes second place behind Rosemont's Lauren Peterson. Maple Grove senior Evan Hull was second in the 100, but he comes back to win the 200-meter dash with a time of 21.85 seconds. Here's what a couple of the local winners had to say after their races.
It's funny because as I was warming up for the 200, my brother called me up and he said that he noticed I got second in the 100, and he just gave me a good pep talk. I love that guy, and he lit a fire in my belly for that one. So I came into that race and I really wanted it.
I sensed it when the gun went off, you know, because we worked too hard to not run what we ran today. And that was with slight mistakes in the handoffs and us having bad races beforehand. But I can tell you now, at state, June 8th, it will be something special.
Some of the state's best boys golf teams got together each April. They play in the preview tournament in Brooklyn Park. Two local teams teed it up in the two-day team event this year. It was a windy day Friday for day one of the 36-hole tourney. Maple Grove Wayzata, the local teams playing. This is Wayzata's Cooper Markham. He shoots rounds of 84 and 82 to place second on his team. His teammate Brendan Lee putting for par on Edinburgh's 17th hole. He rolls it in on his way to shooting rounds of 70, 82, and 76 and finishes in a tie for 36th place. Now to defending state class 3A champion Maple Grove, and a great chip shot here by Peyton Miller, hitting this tricky downhill recovery shot on the 6th hole to within about a foot of the cup. He tapped that in for par and tied for 28th place in the tournament. His teammate Nate Adams with a very good chip of his own on the par 5 first hole. He gets this down hole high to within 3.5 feet. Adams sinks that putt later for birdie, and he ties for 32nd place with rounds of 78 and 79. Here are the final team scores. Waconia wins the event. They shoot 291 on day 2 to pull away from Maple Grove, who finishes second. Edina comes in third with Minnetonka fourth. Wayzata places 15th. Waconia's Joe Adams wins medalist honors with back-to-back rounds of 72. Josh Galvin of Maple Grove finished in 6th place, 4 shots behind Adams. The Champlin Park boys tennis team lost for the first time Thursday against Andover. The Rebels look to bounce back as they played host to Armstrong. At number 1 singles play, Ben Leighton of Armstrong's in the near court against Dom Witt. Leighton with a drop shot into the wind, and then he fires a forehand winner in what turns out to be a good match. Former Champlin Park player Dan Schenk here in red, the new Armstrong coach. Now back to first singles play, and Witt receives serve. After an exchange, Witt fires a forehand winner, and he wins the match 6-1, 5-7, 10-6. At number 2 singles, it's Kyle Horton of Champlin Park in the near court against Evan Axel. They each used the net, with Horton getting the best on this point. He rolls to a 6-1 win for the Rebels. At first doubles play, Grant Hilbrandt serves, and his partner Cade Moffitt reads the return to hammer the overhead on the way to a win over Jacob Tyson and Logan Nyquist. Champlin Park wins this match by a final score of 7-0. That's it for sports. More news after this.